Okay, part 3, episode 853. Doing marbles today, and this is bag number 2. The first part 1 was like an intro. I talked a lot about Jabo and Vitro and stuff like that, and where I got the marbles from. These are the special marbles here from the first bag, and these are the commons. When I say special, I mean more attractive, maybe larger. Um, so, for example, this marble here. It's like a plain marble, you know. I'll put it over there. All right, so let's get cracking, crack-a-lacking. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So these marbles came out of bags that said Vitro Ajates, um, made by Jabo, which is kind of odd. I'm gonna put that one up to the light. No, it's not transparent. It looks like glass. It has to be transparent. It's nice looking. Anyway, so most of these are going into the. Oh, look at that flamey. That's a flamey one. Oh, a flamey swirly one. That's cool. Maybe I'll take a picture of that. That's pretty cool. Again, these are nice. Yeah, the one. So there are several different bases, right? To marbles. You have your clear base, which means you can see straight through it. It's clear. You have your transparent bases, which are clear-ish. Now, this I would say is transparent, right? Like if I put something on the other side, can you see it? Not really, right? So that's why it's transparent, not not clear. I mean, it's clear-ish, but it would still. I think I would say this falls into the. Look how beautiful that line is, into the realm of transparent. Then you have translucent. Oh, that's an error marble. That's an error. Has a big butt crack seam. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the beautiful colors. That's why people love Jabos. The glass is different than most Vitros. I think they started using different glass. You can see the bubble in there. Yeah, they're beautiful, 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 beautiful marbles. I'm gonna put that with the special ones too. I'm gonna have to get another. Oh yeah, these are nice. So then you got translucent, right? Which means that if you put a light behind it. See, too many flea bites. This is like near mint minus, right? Because there's no chips or anything like that, but it has too many flea bites, ton of them. I wouldn't want a marble like that unless look how beautiful you can see the inner working of the marble. See the bubbles in the glass. See, this is transparent, and you can see what's going on behind it, but it's really not clear. Translucent means that it's murky. Murky, I guess, is a good way of putting what translucent means. Oh, that's nice. Hit mark, right? So you got flea bites. You see the little dots. Those are flea bites, and then when they get a little bigger, they're considered hit marks. There might be a specific, but look how that's something else. That's too bad. That's a real shame. This would have been like a $5 marble, if not. The flea bites make it into a lot less. Now people might say that's. Here goes another damage. Nah, those marbles are only worth 10 cents a piece. Well, they used to be worth 10 cents a piece a couple years ago. This is almost like a double ingot. Look at that seam. They used to be worth 10 cents a piece. That's true. And the shooter, the Jabo shooters were 25 cents a piece. That's true also. But now the Jabo shooters or the DOS shooter size, they're selling for about $2 and up, all the way up to, forget, $100. Is that green? Is that aventurine? Yeah, that's a beauty, man. That's a beauty. I don't know if it's just green. I don't think it's aventurine. It doesn't have that sparkly to it. So that's the next thing I guess I'll talk about is aventurine. So anyway, let me just finish the conversation about value. So yeah, that's how much they used to cost. You can't find marbles, nice looking marbles for 10 cents anymore. So that's gone with the wind. So anyone who says that, it's an old timer who's out of touch, and that's like saying a gallon of milk is only worth $1 because I used to pay $1 for it. Okay, all right. Well, that's not how reality works. So you'll find people like that. That those are only 10 cents. Okay, and a gallon of milk is 50 cents. You know. Okay, whatever you say. So those are you know people who are, oh, you're trying to rip people off. You're asking for 50 cents for that marble. You're trying to rip people off. Those are ignoramuses. Those are morons. So don't listen to people like that. Those are people who live in a shack, and they come out once a year to get beef jerky, and not that anything's wrong with that, but they don't know what's going on in the world. The last time they picked up a newspaper was 2008. Anyway. So don't listen to people like that. You can't get marbles for 10 cents, you can get like cat's eyes still, which used to be 2 cents, right? So it sounds cheap, 10 cents, but they were 2 cents. But you're talking about 5x, right? 2 cents to 10 cents is 5x. It's a big, big deal. So marbles like these are like, maybe at a marble show, you still get them for 25 cents or something like that, but they're like 25 cents a piece, marbles like this. But they used to be a nickel, or 10 cents. And the big shooter size DOS marbles used to be a quarter. Imagine that the minimum you're going to pay for a large DOS now is $3 or $4, and they go up to $100 for really fancy ones. This is nice. This would have been a nice marble if it didn't have all these little. That's not a big deal. It's still in near mint condition, believe it or not. This one is near mint condition. It's nice looking. That's nice. And so is this one. Look at how clear the glass is. Yeah, and this is a bigger one. It's not exactly shooter size, but I could tell already this is like 6'2". It feels like 6'2" to me. It could be 6'1", but it feels like 6'2". 6'2". I knew it was a little bigger than that 6'0". At 6, I call shooter size 6'7". So again, it's a little bit larger. And if you want to compare it to a regular MIB, you can see the size difference between them. You hold them maybe side to side. And you can see, side to side, it looks much, much bigger, but it's only bigger by 0.4, right? This is 0.58. This is 6'2". We just measured it. There's about a 0.4 difference between them. And at 6'7", some people might say 6'8" start shooters, 6'7", 6'8", whatever, But it's a larger MIB. So this would be considered a large MIB, swirled, transparent glass, ruby, candy apple red. It's beautiful, beautiful marble. Here goes another one of those kind of caramel, mahogany, and that's one of the things. The other things that cool about marbles is that people start coming up with these crazy, crazy terms and names. Look, these are all like similar. The Carmel one. This one's not as attractive as the other one. This one's beautiful. Again, just a lot of. Stay tuned to the end. I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna do the boulder last. All right, I'm almost done with the bag. See this. See, this is what old Vitros look like. It's so funny, right? That's what an old Vitro looks like. So these are all coming from the same machine, and this is what in my. This is what Jabos look like. Maybe some Vitros look like this. Also, maybe that's not a good example. So a lot of these do look like Vitros. I'm looking for a good example of a more Jabo looking one, even though it said. But these are what some really nice looking Vitros look like. So I guess I can see why they have it as Vitros. But they are so similar to Jabos. It's unbelievable. Same machine, I think, right? Like that's a wild looking Vitro right there. It has a seam, has some flea bites. Can you see the seam there? That's a nice looking seam. Yeah. So these are not like super high quality marbles, you know. They're not wet mint. They call it wet mint, right? So these are not. Maybe a couple of these are mint, but not wet mint. It's just I don't know. It's almost like they look polished, but they're not polished. That's a nice looking one too. Also a little bit larger, probably like a 596. So I hope you enjoyed the video. People who are into hobbies, you know, might find a marble video kind of interesting. And I'm going to show, and we have that last one to look at. This one's a little flamey too. That's kind of nice. Flamey, feathery. It's like a flamey, feathery marble. And then the last, this one here to me is really there's a marble called Hot Wheels. I believe it's oh man, who makes that? Is that Champion? Either way, I got to take a picture of this. This is stunning looking. This is the reason why I opened up the bag, is because of how beautiful this marble was, and then I found the other large one. So again, boulder size. It's got to be close to an inch. I will measure it for you. It has to be close to an inch. I should be able to hold it. 9/8. And it's just this is a fan. What's it worth? Because I know that's what I get. How much is that worth? I always get that question for everything. You know, these bigger Vitro and this with now look, I'm going to show you the I don't know if I have any up here. The Vitro. See if I have the boulder up. I had one that was Vitro boulder. Vitro marble. I'll just show you what Vitro. I'll put boulder in. Just to give you an right, because you think I'm making this up. People, and you might say, "Oh, that's eBay." Well, eBay's pretty popular. There's billions of people on it, right? So, same thing with Macari. So it's a pretty good. Now, when you go to a show, yes, you're going to find things that are cheaper. I understand that. You're going to find them for lower prices. That's the point of going to the show. Okay. Anyway, that's a nice group of Vitros. $30. Boulder. It's a Vacor. You see, it's Vacor. It's not even a Vitro. Here goes Vitro. But they're not attractive looking. See, for these ugly ones, yeah, they're about $5-10 a piece. He wants 25. But for these are like $5-10 ones. Yeah, they're very, very plain looking. Yeah. That's why I'm going to put in Jabo. Jabo, Jabo. And you'll see the difference. And because they're prettier. And I think that's how Jabo, how they improved the company, is that they just started to make them look nice. Look at this, how attractive, and they want it's a newer marble than the other ones, and they want more money because they just made them look. They're more beautiful looking marbles. They have more swirls. Look at that, it's beautiful. And that's an 8.6. So this is on the smallest, so $10. But I have to be honest with you, these two here, this one and this one, are nicer than any of the ones we saw up there. Especially this one. This is like a $50 marble. Actually, it might even be more than that because of the flames, the swirls, and the color combination. Same thing with this. Almost like parrot. Parrot is like that fluorescent green. Well, a parrot. If you ever seen a parrot, that's the colors of a parrot. We got the green, the orange, the red. It doesn't have the blue. That's the only thing that's missing to be like a true parrot. Would be some blue in there, but it's parrot-ish. Almost lost my marbles. I lost them a long time ago. What are you gonna do? All right. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was the long one, and this is why I had to break it up into 3 separate videos, was because it was just going to be too long and people start checking out. So I hope you enjoyed. God bless. I like to do different things every once in a while. I thought this was interesting. A nice little introduction to Jabos and Vitros, a little bit of their history. Go to that guy, Steve Barr. I'm going to put marbles in here, and I'll show you his exact name. I don't know the guy personally. I think my channel is bigger than his. I'm pretty sure. I think I'm like 99%. Here goes Steve Barr here. I'm going to show you. Hold on. I'm going to go to his channel. Yeah, my channel is actually bigger than his. Steve Barr, great dude. Super chilly. Here go his videos. He talks about every type of marble you can talk about. He goes around. He goes to the shows. Great content, man. Great content. He'll have 20,000 soon. 100. His videos are much more informative. Mine are more just for the hobby and having fun and stuff. His are much more educational than mine. So again, check him out. What else? Is there any special? Oh, if there's a website you're gonna go to for marbles, this is the one I use most. And I don't think this is by him, but it's called Allen's Marbles. Well, he's Steve Barr, so he's not Allen, so it's not his. And it has all. So here we go. Let's click on, and you can see it has here goes Vitro Agate, and then Jabo. Here goes Jabo Vitro, and then it gives you I could have read this to you before, but I didn't. But you could go find it yourself, and you can see how different, how some of these marbles look. Look like a lot of these look like the marbles. So these are Vitro agates, and that's what we were looking through. 1987 to question mark. Exactly. But you can see here goes the Vitros, then there's the Vitro agate, the Jabo Vitro. And so he's calling it Jabo Vitro. A lot of people just call them Jabos. So anyway, I hope you, again, see how long, I mean, these videos can be super long. Click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. And I'll see you in the next one.